Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cinderella Phenomenon. So apparently, what we now know is that if Rod doesn't break his curse before Viorica gets married, he's gonna die. He's like legitimately gonna die. And that's a bit of a problem that wasn't addressed in the other route. It's just like, oh yeah, I get to be princess again, and Karma, and we're dating now, and it's gonna be my birthday soon. When did Viorica get married? Did Rod die? Did Rod die? Is that something that happened? Could we just delay the wedding until she gets the power of the Tenenbaum and then just like fix that real quick? Anyways. Rod is absent from the palace for the rest of the day, and returns only once the sun has set to prepare for the ball. I have not been able to talk to him since, but I assume that he has been to the Marchen. To tell Delora and Parfait about our suspicions of Alcaster being a witch. Because that's important. I hope they come up with an effective plan for dealing with him. The palace is not safe so long as he is here. The ball is just about to start that evening, and I have been asked to make sure that none of the guests are lost and wandering in the hallways. I have been walking around for a while, directing any late guests in the right direction. That should be everyone. But as I turn the corner, I notice two people lingering by a column. Excuse me, the throne room is... I pause when I look more closely at the two men in front of me. I recognize one of them instantly. Hey! Hey, it's Valg? It's Valg. Fritz! It's Fritz. What is happening to you, Fritz? Why are you the Phantom of the Opera? I need to know these things. What is Sir Alcaster doing outside of the throne room? And who is that man he's with that looks suspiciously like Fritz? Ah, Lucette. Sir Alcaster gestures me toward him, and I approach warily. Oh, Varg, not Valg. This is Varg. He is one of the guests for the ball. Varg sweeps aside his cape as he bows, and I curtsy and tip my head to hide my expression, which is laughter. I have not heard of a Varg? Varg. And why would he be bowing to a mere maid? Also, why is he wearing such an elaborate costume and mask? Because it's Fritz, under mind control or something. This is not a masquerade ball. If Varg is an acquaintance of Sir Alcaster, there is no telling what or who he truly is. Varg is one of the suitors for Princess Emmeline. Would you please escort him to the throne room? I will be along shortly. Varg's politeness is even more suspicious. Of course, Sir Alcaster. I meet Varg's gaze briefly and cannot help but frown at the way he is smirking at me. Creepy. This way. Varg and I make our way toward the throne room. I cannot help but feel wary of the fact that he is following behind me where I cannot see him. If the maids are this lovely, the princess must be truly beautiful. Varg laughs, and I grit my teeth at the sound. Ha 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 ha! Oh ha 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 ha! It's like a deeper Hime's laugh. What? It was meant as a compliment. There's no need to look at me like that. Varg looks at me curiously. Are maids not allowed to speak in this palace? I simply have nothing to say. Not the most cheerful person on staff, are you? Thankfully, the doors to the throne room appear as soon as we turn a corner, and I do not have to come up with a response to his words. We are here. I gesture toward the throne room and move to leave, but Varg's voice stops me. You should at the very least escort me inside and introduce me to the princess, don't you think? Isn't that what a maid should do? Technically, that's the announcer's job, not mine. I get to just shove that away. But Varg came so late, he probably already missed the introductions. I wouldn't want to think badly of any of the servants at the palace. I take a deep breath to calm myself down before turning toward the doors. Follow me. I can tell the moment I step into the room that the official instructions have already passed. Most of the guests have already begun to mingle and scatter across the throne room as the band sets up. No one notices when I walk into the throne room in front of Varg. I do not trust Varg, not if he is associated with Sir Alcaster. I might have time to warn someone about him while he is distracted, but who? Emmeline! She is his target! Girls, stick together! My attention is quickly drawn to where Emmeline is moving between groups of people, introducing herself and making light conversation. I know this will be frowned upon, but Emmeline's safety must come first. I make my way quickly over to Emmeline and curtsy just off to the side, trying to draw as little attention to myself as possible. Princess Emmeline, may I have a word? Emmeline is clearly shocked at my intrusion, but she masks it well. Excuse me, it appears my maid has something for me. I draw her closer to the walls where the crowd blocks us from view. I wasn't expecting you to be here, Lucette. Not that I mind, but won't you get into trouble? There is no time for that. I take her hand in mine and look at her somberly. You have to watch out for this man in a mask. Sir Alcaster brought him to the ball. Why should I be worried, then? I cannot exactly tell her I think he is a witch right now. There are too many people looking. Just please be wary of him. I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about from anyone here, Lucette, especially if Sir Alcaster is involved. On the contrary, if Sir Alcaster is involved, I would also recommend staying on your guard, Emmeline. Rod? I turn in shock to see Rod suddenly standing beside me. Yay! You should trust Lucette. Excuse me. I jump back at the sound of Varg's voice. Rod takes a step forward and places his hands on my shoulders to steady me. I don't believe we've been introduced. Varg looks at me for a few moments, but I say nothing. He eventually turns to Emmeline, a wolfish smile on his face. My name is Varg, and you must be Princess Emmeline. The tales of your beauty did not do you justice. Emmeline flushes as Varg reaches for her hand. He presses a kiss to the back of it, still grinning. I can feel Rod tense behind me. Yeah. May I have the first dance? Emmeline bites down on her lower lip as she stares at him. I become acutely aware of just how quiet the throne room has become. She cannot refuse him with so many people watching her. I feel sick, but cannot bring myself to say anything more as Emmeline puts her hand in Varg's. I accept, Lord Varg. The moment Emmeline makes her way to the center of the dance floor, a man signals to the band and the musicians start playing. This feels wrong. I can only nod as I watch Varg pull Emmeline closer. At first, it is just he and Emmeline dancing, but then other couples gradually trickle in to join them. I do not like this at all. Rod and I watch in silence as the first dance continues on. I know for a fact that Rod must see the dreamy smile on Emmeline's face as certainly as I can. When the music stops, both of us move as one toward Emmeline. Even though the dance is over and Varg has released her, they still stand close together in the center of the room. The silence is interrupted when the double doors open and Sir Alcaster, along with two knights, stalk to the center of the room where Emmeline and Varg stand. Their arrival causes an uneasy stir in the crowds. The king rises from his throne, eyebrows drawn. Alcaster, is there some kind of disturbance? Alcaster says nothing as the knights stationed around the room approach Emmeline and Varg and stand around them, encircling them. Emmeline's expression shifts from confusion to fear. The crowd becomes even more anxious. Alcaster, explain this! Alcaster briefly glances at him but says nothing. He turns back to his knights and snaps his fingers. The knights pull out their swords and point them at Emmeline. I reach out to grab Rod's hand before he can make his way toward her. Rod, it's too dangerous. I know, but thoughtless actions have the potential to put Emmeline in even more danger. Rod's only response is to tighten his grip on my hand. I place my other hand over his to reassure him, and slowly but surely his grip begins to loosen. I turn my gaze back to the king. Alcaster, stop this immediately! What do you think you're doing? Something I should have done a long time ago. I have been nothing but loyal to this kingdom, and all I ever wanted was for Angel to thrive. But ever since the queen died, this kingdom has become weak. It is because you are a weak ruler, Gennaro. What? The people were more productive back then, more disciplined during the late queen's reign. The kingdom has become less productive without fear to drive them. When there's power, there is order. Power is not something that should be needlessly used to control people. It is used to protect them. You, of all people, should know that. Sir Alcaster shakes his head. I, of all people, know that order is what makes a hierarchy stronger. I am only doing what is necessary. I am reorganizing the system. Hand over the crown, Gennaro. Sir Alcaster turns his head to Varg, who remains standing beside a scared Emmeline. You will obey me if you do not want your precious daughter harmed. Please, leave my daughter out of this. Emmeline steps back, her eyes now brimming with tears. Varg, seize the princess! Woo! As soon as Sir Alcaster gives the order, Rod immediately lets go of my hand and rushes towards his sister. Rod, no! I quickly follow after him, but Rod suddenly stops in his tracks. I bump abruptly into his back. Rod? Varg! Sir Alcaster's booming voice echoes around the room, which has suddenly gone eerily silent. My eyes move to Varg, but he is standing motionless. What is happening? Finally, Varg smirks. He steps to the side, standing in front of Emmeline, as if to block her from view. Sir Varg! You must be delusional, old man. I'm not letting you anywhere near the princess. Well, is this how the turns table? Okay. In the last route, they were working together, and Rod and Emmeline both got put in jail. Okay, so is this specifically because Lucette is here? And he's just like, ah, yes, my true quarry, Lucette, hello! Oh. The knight's next movements are a blur as they rush at Sir Alcaster. In mere moments, he has been disarmed and pinned to the ground. Several more knights have also appeared from behind to surround Sir Alcaster. A man emerges from in between the circle of knights. He moves to stand beside Varg and Emmeline. Sir Mithros looks at Sir Alcaster disdainfully. What is the meaning of this, Mithros? We had a deal! The anger is now palpable in Sir Alcaster's flushed face. Big difference here. Mithros is alive. Mithros was dead in the last timeline. So what changed to allow Mithros to survive? Did we now? Mithros, explain yourself! Sir Mithros drops to one knee in front of the king. Of course, your majesty. He raises his head slightly to look at the king. I have known for a long while that the man you see before you is a traitor. I was even aware of his plans, but I could not tell you of them without any evidence. 2 of your knights had tried to inform you of these plans before, but we all looked down on them with disdain. I had to make sure that I did not come unprepared like they did. Yeah. Jurian and Garland. Yeah, you fricked up. What? Both of them knew of Sir Alcaster's plans? Was that the reason why they were dishonorably discharged? For false accusations because everyone trusts Sir Alcaster so much? I knew enough of his plan that I could thwart it. This is why I thought the best way to reveal his dastardly ways was to craft a fake alliance with him. Sir Varg and I have been working together to unravel Sir Alcaster's plans, Your Majesty. Varg is an invaluable accomplice. Wait. Hold up a second. So, Sir Mithros has been pretending to work with Sir Alcaster this whole time? And so we arrive at the events of tonight. I apologize for undertaking this task without seeking your counsel, Your Majesty. But I could think of no better way to end this madness once and for all. You lying snake! Sir Mithros stands and turns to Alcaster. He gestures at him dismissively. Seize him. The knight's next movements are a blur. The men rush Sir Alcaster all at once, and in mere moments, Sir Alcaster has been disarmed and is now pinned to the ground. Isn't Sir Alcaster a witch? Why is he not using his magic? Because Mithros is the witch. Mithros, I am indebted to you for saving us. The whole kingdom is. I only did what was necessary, Your Majesty. The king glances at the knights, then at Sir Alcaster, his gaze steely. Take him away. Sir Alcaster struggles uselessly against the knights as they drag him away, and I wonder why the knights' loyalty is so different in this one too. It can't just be because Mithros is still alive, because the knights were utterly loyal to Alcaster in the last timeline. I don't get it. Is it because, like, Varg and Mithros are both witches and they have, like, a mental jutsu on them or something? I don't know. He is nearly out the door when he starts screaming at the king. Gennaro, you are a fool! That man is a witch! A snake! You cannot trust him! No, Alcaster. I was wrong to put my trust in you. Even as Sir Alcaster is pulled from the room, we can hear him babbling in the hallways about a witch. Sir Alcaster never used any magic to escape. Was he truly not a witch? Maybe he's telling the truth this time. Are you all right, Princess? I am pulled from my thoughts when I hear Varg's voice. He is now trying to comfort a shaken Emmeline. For a few moments he looks away, and his eyes meet mine. He smiles, but it is fleeting, and moments later his attention is back on Emmeline. Mysteriouser and mysteriouser. The ball comes to an abrupt end after Alcaster's stunt. He is thrown into a jail cell and promised a trial after a few days' time where he will be tried for treason against the kingdom. I still can't believe Sir Alcaster would do something like that, and so brazenly, too. I wonder, what happened to Sir Fitzgerald? The world may never know. And I'm going to take that as my cue to pause the episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!